Hey, Steve.
You hear me, Mark?
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Just gonna give folks a few minutes to join. You can time for me to share my screen.
I'm in the car driving today, so I'll be listening in, but won't
Okay,
be able to follow on the computer.
that's fine. Well, we'll see how many people join. It's been a little sparse lately.
It's kind of why I thought I'd give the driving a shot.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna give it until 5 minutes past the hour, but I've been working on the um, confidential inference. So how to govern confidential inference. And there's a great paper from Anthropic, but it's more implementation focused than governance focused. But its problem formulation is quite solid. In fact, I ended up borrowing so much of their content. I think it's at this point it's plagiarism. Um, like I pretty much started the document by borrowed liberally from this source. So I don't.
Okay, so and when you're talking inference in this particular case, you're really focused on getting content out of an LLM like Anthropic or OpenAI.
Well, inference is using something that's already been trained, right? So
I,
basically,
I understand, but I was trying to think in terms of the classical ML sense of you've got a neural net, it's running somewhere, you're getting answers out of it, you've got a
yeah,
training process that feeds it, or whether you were focused on using a model that somebody's hosted and got somewhere.
correct. The latter, that's inference. Like the first one's training, and we should tackle that separately. How do you train a model? So for us, and I'm sure there are many more considerations than that, but for us, the problem is, treating customer data as sacrosanct, and usually developers don't access customer data. But if you're going to train a machine learning model on it, you have no choice. You have to train on customer data. You can't really
Yeah,
train
it,
on synthetic data, right? So, but how to do
in
that?
my last role, we literally spent millions of dollars getting live data that we could train off of.
Yeah,
That's
right.
how
Well,
we dealt with the risk.
yeah. Well, for us, it's we have our customer data. We need to train on it. Um, because like say you want to do like loan origination, you want to figure out who's more or
Yep.
less likely to default on the loan. Well, you have data for that. It's just normally data like that are not accessible in development environments. So you train, you program using synthetic data, and then you go push it into production where it's real world data.
Yep.
But for
I spent years doing fraud prevention. Very familiar with that problem.
right,
Loan origination, account opening, account takeover,
right.
e-commerce.
So, I guess we're 4 minutes past, and if nobody else joins, I don't see any reason holding you. But there is a document, and you can look over it. So I think it's pretty complete when it comes to explaining what it is we're trying to do. So in terms of the patterns language, I have the context and the problem section done. So please review that. But when it comes to forces, like what makes doing things hard, I could probably use some of your inputs into that. And then once we have the forces and the problem definition, then we write down the solution. That should not be that difficult. And then we can move on. But it's I certainly need more pairs of eyes on this.
Yep.
And so again, I would like, if possible, to publish this pattern hopefully before the holidays begin. And ideally do that, and also inferencing, and also training before the holidays begin. That would be a great end to the year. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll
So,
need,
so yeah, go ahead and send me that draft.
I will.
It's definitely a problem I'm struggling with here, because from a clean room perspective, we've got a great story, but as soon as somebody has data in a Snowflake or a Databricks, and they've got their own compute attached to the data store,
Yeah,
you leave the zone of control and you move into these other zones to do computation, such as inference or training. And that, of course, breaks the model we're trying to achieve.
right. Oh, hi, Alec. Right about on time. So let me share my screen real quick, and we'll see how much progress we can make today. But so we did a survey, if you remember, and we agreed that AIML governance is a top priority for the remainder of the year. So I started work on a pattern around AML confidential inference. And there is a separate document that I started, which is blank right now, that is on AML training, confidential training. And so what I have so far is I have the context and the problem sections of the inference pattern written. It is very, very heavily based on what I thought was rather excellent paper, certainly in terms of problem definition. That's from Anthropic, which is references #1 in the references. So I really suggest you read that. And what is missing right now is content around forces. So, so we have a problem. What makes solving the problem hard? I could really use some eyes and content on that. So try and understand what we should put in there. Once the problem and the forces are developed, I expect writing the solution section will be relatively easy, and then the governance expectation summary section, the table that's actually your shared responsibility model, will fall out of that. So anyway, if it's just the three of us, and Steve is driving, so he can't really look at the content in the car. What I would ask is you take a look at this document.
Did you put it in the chat?
It's in the, I can put it in the chat, or you can just go to our GRC SIG folder.
I'm looking at the meeting notes.
Yeah, you're looking at the meeting notes. Okay, so here you go. In the chat, you'll now see. Yeah, I'm gonna add you.
Oh, I see it. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, it's asking me for my password. Yeah.
Anyway, so I would ask that you review the content that I put in there, that you review the Anthropic paper, because again, what I put in there is very heavily based on what they did, which I thought was, why repeat good work. And then we need the forces section filled out. So I could really use some content authoring there. So if you have the rest of this hour, maybe look over that, provide some feedback, and maybe add additional content. And again, if it's just the three of us and Steve is driving, I see no reason for us to take up the time here. So we can meet again in a couple of weeks. But please do that, and I will again plea with the TAC that more people attend these meetings so that we can complete this work with more participation.
Cool. Let me just make sure I can repeat what you just said. Read the confidential inference systems white paper, which
from Anthropic, that's referenced in this document. Yeah.
Yep, I see it, and I will do that. I went to the Anthropic webpage and I wasn't able to get myself oriented enough. So thanks for finding this stock, and I will do exactly that.
Okay, so
and focus on
review the content that I authored, again, heavily based on that Anthropic paper. See what the difficulties might be in doing it. So that goes into the forces section, and then we'll author the solution section based on the problem and the forces section. And if we can do that, we don't need to do it in this meeting. We can do it offline.
Yep.
And then I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks and at the next TAC meeting, even if I'm not there, because now I have lots of conflicts on my Thursdays. Please make a plea that more people join these calls so we can make more rapid progress.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you all. We'll talk later.
All right. Talk to you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.